Thanks. All right. Give me 1 second. I know there's two of these. One's a continuation. That's
Commissioner Jackson, John Griggs.
Sir, go ahead, please.
Can I ask Mr. Geddes a question while you're
Of course,
making
sir.
preparations there? Mr. Geddes, did I understand you to say that we could substitute an audio recording for minutes?
I need to look at that more closely. I'm just, I read the language. The language, I believe, has an or. If you give me a second, I'll go back to that language. 1 second.
Thank you.
Section 10.03 of the Attorney General Manual on Open Meeting Law reads, and this is at page 95, retention and disclosure of minutes. Minutes or audio recordings of public meetings are declared by the open meeting law to be public records and must be made available for inspection by the public within 30 working days after the meeting is adjourned. I do not specifically at this point have an opinion as to what the conjunction or means. I'm happy to look into that. One argument would be that if you have one or the other, you're covered. Another argument would be that you need both. I'm simply saying there may be a technical problem here. That's what I meant when I said that.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Okay. The proposed minutes for the February 6th telephone meeting. I'm going to open it to the floor. Does anyone have any comments, suggestions, anything they don't like or like? All right, seeing nothing.
Just briefly.
So you can make a comment at public comment time. This is not public comment.
You said open? Open to the floor.
I didn't. I meant to the commission, sir, not to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I have comments.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lambert.
The tapes, as they were placed on the website for February 6th, are not only highly...
Mr. Lambert's microphone's not on.
Excuse me, Mr. Griggs, you're very right. I apologize to the commission and the public. Commissioner Lambert, for the record, if anyone has taken the time to try to review the audio tapes the way that they're placed on the website for February 6th, they're not only unmanageable, but they're of horribly low quality. If those tapes had been put up in such a way that I could have downloaded them to manage them instead of having a very tiny slide, it would not have taken me several hours to get through less than an hour worth of meeting. The way they're managed and presented today is unacceptable. Please put them up as a file transfer protocol and bring this item back to the table so we can review them and confirm that the minutes are somewhat accurate. Thank you.
Kathy, could you address that? Are the minutes in a form that can't be downloaded?
I appreciate the opportunity to answer this. The minutes from that meeting were only available from the
Proposed
Sony,
minutes.
The proposed minutes were available from the Sony voice recorder. I worked with Kevin Malone, who is the IT professional for the DMV, who supports the OHV. And it was so complicated putting those minutes up, it took him over an hour to get them up. And we really and truly did the best that we could. We know that there's other systems that are out there that will do a better job, but at this point we simply have not had the time to do so. But we made a very serious effort to put up the best quality product that we could.
Kathy, could you do me a favor? Would you get with Mr. Malone again? In the future, this is going to be less of a problem because of some steps we've taken already with making the DVDs available and things like that, which are a lot better quality than audio from a tape recorder. But would you give Mr. Malone a call tomorrow and see if there's something he can do to improve the quality of the tapes or make it so they can be downloaded and somebody be able to work them?
I will be happy to work with him on that.
All right. Are you satisfied with that, Mr. Lambert?
Gary Lambert for the record. At that point, I would make a motion to table this until such time as there's been an adequate file provided so it can be reviewed. I spent nearly 6 hours getting through this in an hour. It's unacceptable.
All right, is there a second for Mr. Lambert's motion?
Commissioner McKay seconds that motion.
All righty. Discussion. I would sort of point out that we're going to have our best efforts to try and get this. There may not be a better copy of those audios.
Then email what we had.
Again, I mean, I said I'll have Kathy or whoever's working it do the best they can to get that, and including, if you, as you said, try to email them. But again, we're putting a stipulation that only when we have a better copy may not be a realistic thing.
It may not be realistic to pass the minutes in their current state. A file transfer protocol would have allowed easy review of it. From my viewpoint, it was a lot of work to make it unusable. I would anticipate something that was reasonable to the consumer, the public, and the commission. If all else fails, email the entire file to all the parties, interested parties, and the commission, so we have the document.
All right. What I'm going to suggest is that we make an amendment that we get the best possible file, and your help in creating that or suggestions in how to do that would be welcome. So we can move on. Otherwise, these minutes may lay in limbo forever.
I think that there's a motion on the table, and as a point of order, it's inappropriate for the chairman to keep driving it to where he wants it. There should have been a vote called by now, and this is inappropriate
Mr. Lambert,
behavior.
I offered an amendment which is perfectly within the rules, Robert's rules. Now, I've asked you again, would you accept that as a friendly amendment, or do I have to move to a vote on the amendment?
Move to a vote on the amendment.
All right, thank you. All right, is there a second on the motion to amend the motion to include the language, the best possible recording? Knowing that if we leave the motion as is, these minutes could lay in limbo forever. Seeing no second, the motion dies. All right, moving back to the original motion. Would you like to restate your motion, Mr. Lambert?
I've made a motion that the minutes and audio tapes be made available for download in an acceptable fashion that are reviewable and usable by the public and the commission. This should not be complicated.
Mr. Lambert, just so that the record's extremely clear, acceptable is a vague term. Acceptable to whom, by whom? Could you specify the format or what you're describing as acceptable? Thank you.
I would say that if we can't pass the minutes the next time around, we need to work on it again. I don't see any reason that acceptable wouldn't be able to pass the minutes.
I'm sorry, I thought, just a point of clarification, I thought what you had stated was that they be produced in an acceptable, I was hearing that as a format. You mentioned file transfer protocol. Is that a format, or are you saying acceptable to the commission?
Strictly acceptable to the commission to do its work and to the public to do its work, so that if we can hear them, we can read them, we can move them forward, we can vote on the minutes.
Thank you for that
sir.
clarification.
All right, we'll move ahead with the motion.
Mr. Chairman, John Griggs.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Lambert, are you asking that somebody work on that file so that it's more audible than it was during the meeting? The meeting was horrible, and it got progressively worse, as we all know.
No.
Are you saying that somebody should be able to fix it?
No, sir, I would not indicate that we need to spend any money at all on it. But if the file as it existed in its original format were available to the public, we would be able to do the best we could, even if it was to say that the minutes were inaudible and we weren't able to validate certain sections. I would never obligate us to spend money to re-audiotize or work on the audio. All I want's the original document available to the public and the commission, so that our work isn't encumbered. Because when I looked at what took place, I wondered how many hours of effort it took to make it so unusable. It was horrific to work with. I appreciate your concern, John. This is strictly a matter of giving us something that's usable. to proceed with. And if we don't have something that's usable, our minutes will simply state that it was unaudible and we don't have a good record. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Just to clarify, Mr. Lambert, are you alleging or making the allegation that somebody deliberately made the minutes worse?
Oh, I suppose that there could have been someone on the phone that was practiced in being able to make poor quality audio phone calls. I've heard of someone able to do that in the past and was bragging about it. But I'm not indicating that the tape itself was damaged or audio. I just said that the format it was provided in was unusable. And I have heard someone make statements about making telephone conferences poorly usable, but that was not my statement by any means. I thank you for your concern, Mr. Jackson.
All right. We're going to move ahead with the vote unless there's other public comment. All right. All in favor of Mr. Lambert's motion to table the February 6th minutes, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays?
Aye.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is Commissioner Elmore, I guess for clarification, sorry, I thought we were looking for a second to discuss.
We're already in the middle of the vote, Mr. Elmore.
Okay.
I'm going to back up and rescind my request for the vote and continue discussion. Mr. Elmore?
I just wanted to clarify for my own sense, so that these aren't in limbo. We're looking to revisit these. We're tabling them until the 3/20th meeting, as we have done with the previous ones, correct?
I would assume so, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Are there any nays? Okay, motion passes and will be reviewed again 3/20. The Commission Executive Secretary is instructed to do whatever can, to contact Mr. Malone and do whatever we can to improve the audio or improve it, including but not limited to sending Mr. Lambert the audio in an email form.
It was Mr. Lambert, all interested parties, and the balance of the commission, not Mr. Lambert. The public has a right to transparency.
All right, what I would suggest, Mr. Lambert, is you take a look at it. If you feel it's up to your standards, then we'll go ahead and send it to everybody else. How's that? All right.
This is Mr. Cox. Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Don't we have all these minutes in a typewritten format?
That's what we've just tabled, sir.
We were talking about an audio.
What happened, sir?
Inaudible.
All right, what happened was we had the minutes in written form. Mr. Lambert, and I'm not trying to characterize his expression, but Mr. Lambert felt that the written form couldn't be confirmed by the audio because of the poor quality of the audio, and he made some suggestions as to improve it or improve the public's ability to see that. So the minutes were in a written form have been tabled.
I guess my question is more looking toward the future. It might be a question for Mr. Geddes, isn't the written form of minutes all we need to produce for the public? Do we have to have the audio file?
Yes, if you requested an audio file, you have to produce it.
Thank you.
And to your point, Mr. Cox, in the future, this really isn't going to be a big issue because we have the ability with the DVD to put the DVD on the website. Now, obviously, if somebody has an objection to the DVD on the website or wants an original or something like that, we'll basically make those, make those arrangements. But as I said, it shouldn't really be a problem in the future as the DVD is much better quality and it is easier to do. Our only rate limiting step with it right now is that we have to physically mail the DVD down to Vegas, and that so Mr. Malone can add it to the website in the proper way. All right, I'm going to move along to the rest of the minutes from February 6th, the continuation of the February 6th meeting. Does anybody have a question, anybody on the commission have a question, comment, or see something they'd like to be corrected? Mr. Lambert?
The February 6 DVDs I went down and requested from Publications, and they had been delivered to the commission with the knowledge that they would be deleted from the server afterwards. If anybody's horribly interested.
Okay, let me ask, Kathy, you have a copy of the DVD from February 6th, correct?
I have a copy.
Has it been posted to the website yet?
No, it has not.
I'm sorry, I'm absolutely confused because you're referring to February 6th meeting. Are we talking?
Continuation, I'm sorry, sir. Let me, I apologize. You are correct. There is some confusion. And I thought I said this. This is the continuation of the February 6th meeting, and the continuation happened on February the 12th. All right. And again, there was a DVD made of that meeting because that meeting was done here. Kathy, has that DVD been made available to the website yet?
It has not.
Okay. Is it on its way to being doing that, or is it?
It can be.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I apologize to the public. I thought it was automatic, that we were automatically sending those down. Would you please make sure that that is sent to Mr. Malone ASAP?
Send the DVD to Mr. Malone.
So we can put it on the website? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right. Is there anybody on the commission who has an issue with any part of the written minutes, which are the continuation of the February 6th meeting held on February 12th? All right. Seeing none, I'm going to go to the vote. I would make a motion that we accept the minutes from the continuation of the February 6th meeting, which was held here on February 12th. Do I have a second?
John Griggs, second.
Thank you, Mr. Griggs. We were all holding our breath. All right. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Lambert?
I think that we need to table all of the minutes until we get an accurate set of audio or visual and audio, and it's not impeded by arriving late minutes. And if we were to get all of this tomorrow, we might have a chance of passing it on the 20th in good faith. But I spent hours and hours and hours on these minute topics. I doubt that the rest of the commission spent more time than that on it, and the tools just aren't available to validate that the minutes are accurate today in my mind. I would motion that we table all minutes until at least next week, and that all documentation be provided tomorrow to the commission and the interested parties.
All right. There is a motion on the table to accept these minutes. It has been seconded by Mr. Elmore. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
John Griggs, Mr. Geddes, can we approve minutes from a continuation meeting when we've tabled the minutes from the meeting that was continued?
I believe the expression continuation of the meeting is causing confusion here. They're actually separate meetings, and I believe, and the chair can clarify, that what is being discussed right now at this very instant is a separate meeting noticed and held here on the 12th of February.
Mr. Geddes, you are correct. The meeting was separately noticed, and the notice was received and duly sent out. So technically, this would be a meeting that took all of the unresolved agenda items from the February 6th meeting. I know that's as clear as mud, and I was not thrilled about the way we did it, but there we are. All right, is there any further discussion?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there any further discussions? Seeing none, I'm going for the vote. All in favor of All in favor of approving these minutes, please indicate by saying aye.
Wait a minute, did he have a motion?
No,
Aye.
no, because my motion was already on the thing. He didn't do it as a,
Okay. I want to
didn't-
clarify that.
he didn't do it as an amendment.
Okay.
All right. All those in favor of approving these minutes, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay. Any abstentions? Any nays?
Nay. Lambert, for the record.
Nay.
Nay.
All right. I'm going to ask for division. Kathy, could you please take the roll?
Commissioner Cox?
Nay.
Commissioner Elmore?
Yay.
Commissioner Giroux?
Yay.
Commissioner Lambert?
Nay.
Commissioner Lee?
Nay.
Commissioner Richardson? He's not here yet. Commissioner Baker? Nay. Commissioner McKay?
All right. The motion fails.
Make me feel bad, Kathy, you skipped me.
Oh, who did I skip?
John Griggs.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Griggs.
I vote yay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The nays have it. The motion fails. Is there another motion, Mr. Lambert?
Yes. Gary Lambert, for the record. I motion that we table the balance of the minutes until at least 5 business days after the documents are provided to the commission in a format that we can review thoroughly. Let me change that to 4 days, so 4 business days, so that we have an opportunity to get it done tomorrow and we can vote on it next Thursday.
Can we send proposed? Can we post proposed?
Yeah, as long as you say they're draft.
All right. Okay.
Just got to clarify.
All right. Is there a second?
Commissioner Elmore, I'll second the motion.
All righty. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. I would state that the proposed minutes from the 12th do not fall into the same category. And I would ask Mr. Lambert for a friendly amendment to exclude those so we can go ahead and get them approved. Mr. Lambert?
No, I pass on your amendment.
Okay. All right. So any further discussion? Seeing none. All in favor of tabling the minutes from February 6th continuation meeting and February 12th meeting, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any nays?
Aye.
That was an aye. Are there any nays? Okay, motion passes unanimously. So the February 6th continuation meeting and February 12th meetings will be tabled until the March 20th. Kathy, you will please provide to the interested parties copies of the draft proposal minutes.
No, it's the audio tapes you have to provide.
You said the whole thing.
The whole thing, including the tapes and the backup. That's what I said.
Commission, is this
could
an
you read-
appropriate time for me to speak?
No, could you go back and ask and verify Mr. Lambert's motion, please? Because there seems to be a difference here.
Yes, could you please restate your motion, Mr. Lambert?
Kathy, you should have the motion written down. What was his motion?
My motion was to table the minutes
I
until
understand.
4 business days after the documentation was provided to review them thoroughly, including the backup tapes, audio, and DVDs.
I apologize, my voice is going here. You moved to table the 212 minutes, not the 26 minutes, that's a previous motion. And you moved to table them until you have received the audios 4 business days, hopefully prior to the Thursday meeting.
Okay, all right. All right, so, Kathy, you know what to do? You go get the audio?
I have instructions written down on what to do, but I think it's important that I have an opportunity to address these issues.
Go ahead, Kathy.
Okay. For the members of the commission, I'd like to remind them that the position of the executive secretary for this commission is for a total of 8 hours a week of compensation. And
Okay, Kathy, I'm going to have to stop you.
And
Kathy, we're actually running out of time.
I know, that's why
It's not a subject for this committee meeting because it's a discussion which is not agendized.
Okay, well, I'm just stating I will not be here between tomorrow and the 20th. And Joanna is aware of that fact. And
Okay, Kathy, no problem.
I will do what is necessary to get the tapes out tomorrow.
All right. Okay, moving right along. Let's see, we might just get out of here by 1:15, guys. Agenda items for upcoming commission meetings. We can take any suggestions. These are discussion only. What I think might be a better way to do it, and the way we've done it in the past, if any commissioner has a suggestion for a agenda item, if they can email that to me, I will make sure it's included in the agenda. But since this is a agendized item, is there anybody that wants to bring up an upcoming agenda item now? Seeing none, I'm going to move along. All right, we have public comment. Please, we'll start with Las Vegas. Do you have any public comment? Again, folks, we appreciate you being quick. We want to hear what you have to say, but you know, time is of the essence because we have to get out of here in about 10 minutes. So go ahead, sir. Name and organization for the record.
Anthony Laveri Moran and Silver State Trailblazers. Just thank the commission for their time. I thought you guys had a pretty progressive meeting and got some good business done. Little disappointed about the red tape with the wildlife flyers, but I understand law and rules are rules, but I really wish you could have done that because I think it would have been beneficial to the public. And thanks for your efforts.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in Vegas? All right, is there
Chairman
anybody?
Jackson, this is Commissioner Lee.
Go ahead, sir.
I would like to also voice my concern of the wildlife on item number 10 that Commissioner Elmore brought forward. Commissioner Elmore, what is the final date that we have to have that done by? If we were going to do something, what was the final date on that?
I want to say it was tomorrow at 5 o'clock naturally. But I believe that it's pressing that the hunt books are to come out here in the next 2 weeks. But I apologize to the commission. I was of the understanding that we had funds in the administrative budget. I certainly wouldn't have brought it if I thought we didn't. So, but I can find out and let you know, Sheriff, what the hard date is.
Okay.
Well, I'm really concerned that we didn't do anything on that. I think that it's that the buy-in for law enforcement was hinged upon the public education, and now we're going to be another year behind. We're already 2 years behind as it is. Now we're going to be another year. So we're looking at 3 years behind here, and I'm very concerned about that. So.
Paul. All right, is there anybody else in Las Vegas? Elko, forgive me if I've asked twice. All right, Carson, go ahead, sir, name and organization.
Mr. Chairman,
sorry. I'm sorry. Who? I apologize. Who was that?
I'm sorry, I got lost there. Did you call for Elko? We
Yes,
do
I
have
did,
public
sir.
comment when you're ready.
Oh, you do? All right, go ahead, sir. Name and organization
John
for the...
Glenn John Glenn for the record, past commissioner and owner of Fifth Gear Power Sports. Just wanted to, it's really tough to sit through all this, And I think you guys are doing some good things, trying to make corrections where they're needed. I would like everybody to remember that everyone up there is a volunteer and that they're trying to do the best job that they can, and not to personalize things. So it's really disappointing to see that agenda number 10 couldn't be funded as part of outreach or something of that sort. But being as we've been working on that ever since I was on the commission. So anyway, I hope that everybody can move forward and do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for being so patient, Mr. Quaid. A show of hands, is there anybody else in Carson for public comment?
We had
Sorry?
We had budget under print advertising that was never used, that was previously approved.
Well, let me-
Okay. What I'm going to do, Mr. Quaid, is we've got a balance of 7 minutes. If you need it, you can use it.
I'm going to make this really quick.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? My understanding is there is a print budget of $2,500 that could be possibly used for agenda item number 10. I'd ask, I guess it's Mr. Cox or Commissioner Cox to look into that to see if there is potential for a print budget that could be used for the publication to get that approved. Do we have any knowledge of that firsthand at this point?
Yes, we do. It was approved at the chairman's discretion, a $2,500 print budget, and there should be adequate money at this point to pay that bill. It was approved over a year ago.
Again, I mean, we asked Mr. Cox, he didn't say anything about that.
He's working on it. Give him just a. He's working on it. Give him just a second.
All right, we can't come back.
Prince Bud,
Right, Ms. Cox, let me just say, we can't come back to this, but what we can do is we can re-agendize it for the 20th. And I have no problem with doing that, but we've already decided the issue. There's already been a vote. So we would have to go back and rescind that vote and then vote on it again, which means we'd have to agendize it, or there are several people who will jump on us for not obeying open meeting laws. So, again, and I'm
Okay,
not,
so let me ask a-
I'm not
let me ask
pointing
a
at Mr.
question
Quaid
then.
either. There are other people that would do that, including our own AG. All right, go ahead, sir.
my question would be, when are they saying that was approved?
About a year and a half ago.
You know, we passed the budget at the first meeting of this year that was not in. So if it was approved before that, I don't understand where that money would come from in the budget we passed the first of the year.
It was approved before that, and it was an oversight on perhaps at the treasurer's position or secretary or myself or the chairman, but it was approved and it was left at the discretion of the chair to spend.
That, for the record, is Mr. Lambert. All right, is there any further public comment? Mr. Quaid, do you have any other comments?
Just real briefly, with respect to the February 1st meeting, we'd ask that the scoring sheets that were produced that are public record be made available to the public, as well as any letters in support. And then we'd like to have addressed, and I believe that will be addressed because of the tabling of that, any vote with respect to disregarding the score sheets or any other discussions. Well, we've asked for that information previously as to when the decision to disregard those score sheets were brought forward. So I just want to make sure that still out there.
Let me, even though I said this was going to be a question and answer, I'm going to try and move this along quickly for your benefit of everybody. Any discussions were done on tape so that they are available on the tape or the DVD from the day before. As per the score sheets were never collected, so they're in the sole possession, or may or may not be in the sole possession of each of the commissioners. I can send an email to the commissioners asking if they have their score sheets, if they would please retain them, and then we can go from there. But that seems to be the best I can do.
I appreciate that. And I just want to make a final comment. that it's discouraging to me as an OHV owner, active person in the backcountry of Nevada, that this commission has not been able to move forward in more constructive fashion. I am not here to be an obstructionist, nor is the Nevada Trail Stewards. It's disappointing that we have not been able to see the education and advertising campaign move forward. The bottom line is that this commission is a public body that has to abide by the rules and regulations, and we have to bring that forward when we see serious questions as to the transparency of this commission moving forward. So while there is going to be a delay, while these rules and regulations are properly promulgated as to the grant guidelines, the bottom line in this is that that will afford the commission much more credibility, much more transparency, and to ensure that the public trust is there with the OHV community. And in one final comment, with respect, we have made a request for the proposed regulations under item number 7. We expect those to be produced for public review regardless, because those have been requested by law. Those have to be produced to the public.
I'll take that under advisement.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. And I do, again, if there's any final comments, if they're really quick.
This
Mr.
is
Lambert.
really quick. As Commissioner Lambert, at the meeting at the library, Kathy was in possession of at least Greg McKay score sheets that were provided by the commission, from the commission, with our names on them as commission property. I don't choose to have this misrepresented. The commission is in possession of at least some of the score sheets.
Mr. Lambert, that may be, and you know what? That's fine. If Kathy has them, I'm sure she'll produce them. I find this whole diatribe by you and your attorney to be...
I have no attorney here.
To be... That's not accurate, sir. All right. To be hypocritical at best, since you're just incredibly hypocritical. I would, and thank you for your false laughter, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. I'm sorry, go on, Mr.
This is Commissioner Elmore. I will make a motion at the end of this to adjourn, but I'll just let the commission know. I will get with NDOW and find out tomorrow at minimum if we can find the funds or approval for the funds prior to the 320. I'll try and get it on the agenda for that, and at minimum we may be able to make their hunt guideline book if we don't make their hunt application book. One is certainly better than none in my opinion, and I will do my best to try and make that happen.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the motion, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second.
Mr. McKay. All right. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Anybody nay? All right. Motion passes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.